Hey, this is Matt Twinston. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from, I don't want to butcher his name, I apologize, Thain from the Philippines. Hope everything's doing well in the Philippines. Never been to the Philippines. Actually, never been out of the United States, so I'll get to your other requests as soon as I can. I have a lot of other stuff I need to get to request-wise, but I will do it. But if I had to do this here, he wanted me to do a Bruce Willis tier list. And again, for those who want to send in a request for a review, a re-review, a commentary, reaction, randomness, out of the blue stuff, like a tier list, as long as you send me the link to the tier list, feel free. And I could do that. PayPal is usually the best bet. Links are down below in the info box under most of these videos. But I saw a tier list, but I changed it up a bit. So I put best ever, great, pretty good, alright, pretty lame or forgettable, never seen it, and the worst films I just put at the bottom there. Now, he's made a lot of films. And I know I'm going off the damn screen. Right off the bat, Die Hard. Die Hard is Die Hard, and it's fucking Die Hard. What can I say? It's Die Hard. Die Hard is a classic. It's one of the best action films of all time. Without a doubt. Alan Rickman, yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, jumping off the skyscraper building. Take this under advisement, dickweed. Love Die Hard. I could watch that film anytime. Die Hard with a Vengeance, my second favorite Die Hard film. Love Jeremy Irons, love Sam Jackson, love their addition, love the fact of it being in New York, the craziness of shooting it in that city with all the bombs going off and all the crazy, like the subway sequence and the taxi cab through the park. A lot of great stuff in that. Well, you put your well-laid plan up your well-laid ass. Stick your well-laid plan up your your well-laid ass. I love Die with a Vengeance. I might have seen that in the theater when it came out as a kid. I know. I love Live Free or Die Hard. I do. I have no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I love Live Free or Die Hard. I do. I think it's one of Bruce Willis's last great movies. I think it's a great end for John McClane. We'll get to the fifth film soon. And the action scenes are very well done. I like the cyber terrorism angle, because you still have the terrorist angle, like in some of the previous films. Well, not terrorists. They're bank robbers in the first movie. Kind of the same in the third movie. They are kind of terrorists in the second movie. But kind of going that thing, but the cyber thing made it a bit different. I like Justin Long. I don't hate him like other people do. Yes, it should not have been PG-13. Should have been R-rated, but there is an unrated cut. Timmy Oliphant is not the strongest villain. I will give you that. That's why I put the first and the third one above it. But I love the action sequences. I think Bruce Willis is on his A game. I like the inclusion of Justin Long in there. I don't mind the Lucy McClane. I forget the actress's name. She was in the Thain prequel. Didn't mind her in this movie. And just the action scene, I remember seeing the theater just being so excited. Where all the cars are coming into the tunnel and cars are flipping over. They gotta dive out of the way. I absolutely love the fighter jet scene. I don't care how over the top it is. I think it's very well done practical effects during that sequence. With the truck's going on its wheels and have to dip back on. John McClane, when the guy jumps down, you see a real guy going down and a full fucking explosion right on his ass. He goes by the camera and there's an explosion right to... I think that looks fucking cool. It looked like a real guy going down, a real fireball right after his ass. I went, oh shit. That reminded me of films I saw when I was a kid. Again, the only thing, better villain and R-rated were blood squibs. If you had those two things, I think to this day, I think if you had those two things, it would be looked at as one of the best Die Hard films. As is, I still think it's a really damn good one. And I love Die Hard 2. Just because it's there doesn't mean I do like Die Hard 2. Sometimes it seems a little bit long in the tooth, but I do enjoy the airport, which they wouldn't do a whole lot of that nowadays with terrorism, airports, but it's pretty hardcore. We gotcha. Bringing the fucking planes down, killing women and children. You're not going to see that every day in a summer blockbuster. But it's pretty hardcore. William Sadler did good as the bad guy, like Dennis Franz in the film. You have some very fun lines. What sets up the metal detective first? The lead in your ass or the shit in your brains? I like the supporting characters. Last time we get to see Bonnie Bedelia as the wife. You also, the last time we get to see the reporter, the dickhead, who was the William Atherton, who was in Ghostbusters and in the first Die Hard. Also, sadly, the last time we'll see Reginald VelJohnson. That's one of the annoying things. I wish he was used more in the sequel instead of just a cameo. But, you know, it takes place in DC, so. But I don't know, maybe Reginald VelJohnson, like, he's... I don't know, he's being invited for... Maybe his wife is on the plane with Bonnie Bedelia, and the two of them went on a road trip, and they're both at the airport. I think that'd be cool. And this time, you have the two of them working together. And sometimes they have to separate, but they're still in the same vicinity. I wish Reginald VelJohnson was in it more. But once again, great action scenes. I love when he's got to escape out of the airplane with the ejector seat. I think that's a cool looking shot. The snowmobile sequence, the stuff on the plane at the end. I didn't know people shit on this sequel. It doesn't deserve it. It's a damn good movie. The Last Boy Scout. I'm going to put it, I don't know, around. I don't know where the ranking of these would be, but it's up there. I love The Last Boy Scout. Apparently it was a hell of a production. Everybody hated each other. Damon Wayans hated Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis hated Joel Silver. Tony Scott hated everybody. Seems like everybody hated everybody, and yet they made a kick-ass movie with some fun action, some great dialogue. Most of Bruce Willis's lines are repeatable. You don't lose. Smile, you fuck. So how many fingers would you cut off to fuck my wife? Oops, you slipped and you did film my wife? Must not be my lucky week. I thought Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans worked well together. You get a very sexy looking Halle Berry. You get that guy, the bad guy who, yeah, I forget the actor's name. I've liked him in other stuff too. Sadly, the actor's passed away. I think he's fallen to the helicopter propellers. I like the football angle. You got Tybo himself, Billy. Oh my God, with Billy Blanks, who was in Roddy Piper films like Back in Action and Tough and Deadly. He did his own films. Of course, he made up Tybo. Billy Blanks is at the beginning. Ain't life a bitch, and shoots himself in the head on the football field. That's Billy Blanks. Love The Last Boy Scout. Great fucking movie. The Fifth Element. I don't know. It's up there somewhere. I love The Fifth Element. I saw that in the theater. I thought the visuals are still fucking impressive in that movie. How much they work in detail with how the future New York looks, and the costume designs, and the effects of all the visual panache in that. It's still stellar when you look at it. Yes, Bruce Willis might always be John McClane, but I find that a good thing. I think it's Mila Jovovich's best role, because she doesn't have many lines of dialogue, and that's actually a benefit, because she's not that great of an actress, but when she has little dialogue, she works. Gary Oldman's fun as this kind of a used car salesman, but he's selling guns. it's a simple enough plot, but I like the fanciful element to see Bruce Willis in that. It was a different course of action. At that time, you didn't see Bruce Willis in that many sci-fi movies of that nature. Of course, that would change where... I mean, there was 12 Monkeys, but I meant like more of a fanciful sci-fi. Of course, later you would do the Surrogates and some other stuff, but... Also, it was impressive. Like, it cost $90 million, and there are movies that cost twice that much that doesn't look nearly as impressive as The Fifth Element. I even like, as over the top he is, I even like Chris Tucker in it. Although sometimes it's reaching to be a bit much. Multipass. I like The Fifth Element. Shitty PlayStation 1 game, but I love the movie. Mercury Rising, I'll put in the great territory. I like Mercury Rising. Well, this is not how tis with these attributes would act. Well, you know what? You gave the Predator a pass, which has worse shit, where apparently if you have Asperger's or whatever the fuck you have superpowers that the Predator wants, does apparently take out your damn DNA and you get fucking superpowers or whatever the fuck it is. They wanted the Predator. I don't know what the fuck you were doing, Shane Black. Fucking fly here. Apparently, this fly, maybe that's Shane Black sent in a fucking secret fly to stop my fucking video from shitting on the Predator. Fuck the Predator and fuck you, fly. Where the fuck you went. I like Mercury Rising. I thought he worked well with the kid. I thought the kid, Beetle Hughes, did a good job in it. Alec Baldwin is your villain, which is actually fitting nowadays. Yeah, Mercury Rising, I think, is a fun one. I think like I say, I like the story angle. I like, as preposterous as some people will feel the plot is, it worked for me. I like the opening scene. I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but I thought the opening scene was very effective. I like the bond he forms with this little kid. Parental figure. Protector. And has a couple pretty good action, pieces. Nothing dire level, but I always liked it. So, I don't know where these would be. I mean, there's a lot of movies, so it's hard to go in depth on all of them because he did make a lot of movies. Hudson Hawk, I'll put pretty good. Never hated Hudson Hawk. It's not his best ever, or fantastic, but I liked some of the humor in it. Like the references to Nintendo. It's a live-action cartoon. It's a live-action Looney Tunes cartoon. Easily. With the way people just come in and out of the scenes. How they'll jump in one thing, all of a sudden they're in a different location. They fall through the roof, and they land. It's purposefully being a Looney Tunes cartoon. I think people weren't ready for that. They were thinking it was going to be a Die Hard type of movie. They were thinking it was going to be much more of a serious movie. Or even as comedic. They didn't think it'd be that purposely cartoony. I mean, you have a bunch of mercenaries named after candy bars. I mean, you have Bruce Willis and Dan Aiello, who worked well together in the movie, singing as they're doing break-ins, the steal stuff. Side by side. Yeah, Bruce Willis getting ball and shooting dogs to their deaths outside of off the fucking cliff or where the castle they were in. And the plot dealing with Leonardo da Vinci and this alchemy that'll turn stuff to gold and some crazy shit in it. But, I found infectious fun with it. It doesn't always work. Andy McDowell, like there's a point where she's taught and she's trying to mimic a dolphin. Not all the humor works in it, but I thought it was fun. The whole 9 yards I liked. That's an entertaining movie. I actually thought Matthew Perry and Bruce Willis worked well together. You only needed one movie. You did not need more. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember having fun and getting some chuckles out of it. The whole 10 yards, piece of shit movie. I don't put it down below. It's a piece of shit film. Awful in every way. It's a sequel that did not need to happen. Should never have happened. Never. Fuck that movie. Last Man Standing, I think is pretty damn great. Really like Last Man Standing. Kind of wanna, I'll put it here, but I was getting close to that. I mean, pretty much kind of like Prohibition meets a little bit of John Woo. The Two Pistols. I didn't like Walter Hill may never admit it, but that Two Pistols. I just without Two Pistols blaring on people. That's definitely a John Woo thing. No matter how Walter Hill probably will deny it. But it's a take on, was it Yojimbo? Just like A Fistful of Dollars for Clint Eastwood. You have a guy come in and he's playing off both sides of a gang. I work for you, then I'm working for you, but neither of them know it. And then he takes down both parties. They find out, they torture him, he gets payback, shoots the shit out of them, two guns ablazing. Yeah, Christopher Walken, and I think, was it David Patrick Kelly? Can't remember if he's in it. It's been a while since I've seen the film. Bruce Dern's in the film. Walter Hill, of course, who did 48 Hours and Southern Comfort, The Warriors. Really good, underrated Bruce Willis film. It's a film no one really mentions. Really like the score. It's a pretty badass movie, actually. I do quite like that film. It's a pretty. It's close to put in there. I have to think about it for a bit. Let's see, Hostage, I would put as great. That's another film people don't mention. Pretty much, Bruce Willis is on the outside. His family gets kidnapped, and they tell him, "We want this material that's in this house." But in the house, there are other bad guys. They have three of them that have come in and taken his family hostage. So now Bruce Willis got to deal with those guys. But then he's also got to try to manipulate the little boy to try to get this stuff so that these other guys can get it, and so his family will be safe. So now you're thinking, well, how much will Bruce Willis push this family in order to save his own family? And it's kind of an interesting plot. I think the director made some really nice looking shots. It definitely has a good visual style to it. You could tell from the first 10 minutes that's the case. And yeah, Hostage is definitely worth a look. Some very good acting performances by Bruce Willis. You also have Ben Foster as one of the three bad guys in the house, who's the much more sadistic guy. Yeah, there's a lot of movies, so I don't know if I'll go in depth on all of them. Good Day to Die Hard. Fuck. Yeah, that's pretty lame. I wanted to like it. Now, granted, I'd rather watch it over Indiana Jones 5 or The Flash, or just doesn't kill John McClane off or other shit. You know what? Honestly, it more fits that. Like, if you told me to go watch it, okay, I'll watch it, but I'm like, wish they got a different director. Wish they got this. It's one of those films that, again, it's not like Alien 3 or Clerks 3, a lot of these sequels that just completely kill the previous films. It just, you sit there, you go, why did they get this director who did the Max Payne movie with Mark Wahlberg to direct it? Why are the action scenes sometimes clunky, like the car chase that the guy jizzed over himself on filming, but it wasn't that great of a car chase, and a bit more shaky cam, and why is Bruce Willis keep saying I'm on vacation when no, you went there because your son was in fucking jail, ready for the goddamn death penalty or whatever the hell it was over there. So why you keep saying that you're on vacation? You're not on vacation. It just what he says. I think what he says, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker," or I think there's another line actually. Maybe that too. Is that your best shot? Like, they steal lines from other, like, literally take lines from other Die Hard films. Is that your best shot? They literally took the audio from Live Free Die Hard. I think, Yippee Motherfucker, they might have taken that line reading from maybe Die Hard with a Vengeance or something. I'm like, come on, dude. There's a couple decent over-the-top action sequences, to be fair. I don't hate Jai Courtney in the film compared to other. I like this more than Terminator Genesis that he's in. It just pretty lame, forgettable. It fits it well. What is this, Surrogates? I'll go with the alright category. I don't hate Surrogates. It's a lesser version of iRobot. It's a guy warned you. Things are being overrun. Shit, what the hell am I going to do now? But iRobot felt like a bigger movie with more entertaining set pieces. The Surrogates felt like, at times, like a semi-overqualified direct-to-video movie. I don't know, it's one that, like, alright fits it well. But I don't hate the film. You know, same with The Jackal. The Jackal is alright. Jack Black gets killed in that film because Bruce Willis has tested out this sniper, this type of weapon. I forget, maybe not sniper, I forget what gun it is. It's got a scope on it. It's a big fucking gun he tests and blows Jack Black's arm off. I forget what gun it's called. It's not sniper, but I forget what it's called. Richard Gere, sometimes his accent appears and disappears. But I don't hate the film. I don't hate The Jackal. The first Expendables, I really enjoy. Yes, I wish there was no CGI in it. I think they could have done without that. But it was such a great event. Saw it in the theater. Great time in the theater. To see Stallone and Bruce Willis and Arnold on the same screen together. To see Jason Statham and Stallone be buddies with each other. Stallone worked with Jet Li. It was such a great novelty. Mickey Rourke and there, Dolph Lundgren. Love the scene where he shoots a guy. The guy blows, his body's blown in half, and Dolph just says, a little low. Dolph having a fight with Jet Li. Sly having a fight with Stone Cold Steve Austin. A lot of cool stuff there. I love the automatic shotgun. I love the Diamond Eye song that was in the trailers. And it's in the director's cut of Expendables. They added that into the finale, which I thought was cool. So I do like the first Expendables film. It's the only one I really do like. Lucky number 7. Actually, I really like that one. I reviewed that film not too long ago. The review should still be up. That one I thought the script was pretty interesting. Josh Hartnett, I don't think was too bad in it. I actually like the twists and turns. I like how Bruce Willis was implemented into it, and you find out more about the characters as the story goes along. You have Ben Kingsley and Morgan Freeman as your villains. Good pair of actors. Yeah, Lucky Number 7, underrated film. Underrated movie. 16 Blocks. I'll go in the pretty good category. I think that might have been Richard Donner's last film. Most Def, because Bruce Willis protected Most Def, and they gotta go 16 blocks, because Most Def is a witness. These other dirty cops trying to kill him. Bruce Willis trying to protect him. Most Def Sally puts on this really annoying accent, which is weird because I've seen him in other stuff. He does a lot better job, but for some reason either he was told to do this or this was his choice and no one said no. He puts this like weird fake ass accent. It just really irritating and obnoxious. But Bruce Willis does a good job. I also like I forget his name. He was in Disturbia as well. As sort of your main villain. I like the concept of the film. I like it fucked a little better than Mile 22. Was kind of the same concept with Mark Wahlberg. So, I don't mind 16 blocks. Color of Night, I'll put in the alright category. I don't need to see Bruce Willis' dick. But I like the thriller aspect more than the sex stuff, because I didn't think it was a sexy movie. Far from it. But the thriller aspect, that had a little bit of I don't know if I want to say a little bit of a giallo quality. Some pretty interesting names in the cast, like Scott Bakula playing Bruce Willis' brother, and I think like Lance Henriksen's in it, and some other, maybe Brad. Like it's, I remember having a pretty interesting supporting cast that I wish were utilized more, but I mean, that helps makes the film watchable. Red I thought was pretty good. One of the last hurrahs for Bruce before he went to the direct-to-video route. You got Morgan Freeman. You got what's so bad with names? John Malkovich. They're all on the same side. You know, they're playing up their age. Carl Urban's in the film. I think it's based on a comic book. Never read the comic book, but Red was fun. Red was fun. Red was entertaining. Sally, the sequel not so much. I would put that in the pretty lame, forgettable territory. Red 2, like very forgettable. Big step down. It felt like, yeah, this sequel didn't need to be told. Didn't feel like it added anything to the proceedings. It's been almost too... Sally, I gotta put it in this. I would put in the worst, but I've seen much worse, like Expendables 3. Jean-Claude Van Damme's good in it. I like the scene where Stallone, Bruce Willis, and Arnold are together shooting the bad guys. I love having Chuck Norris in there. So there are nice moments. But Dolph Lundgren is just made to be a joke. Jet Li is in it and then quickly out of it. Nan-Yu, whoever the fuck her name is, was a lame addition. So was the lousy Hemsworth. Was it Liam Hemsworth? Didn't give a shit about him. Van Damme killed him in the movie. I didn't give a shit. I don't think anyone gave a shit. The fight between Stallone and Van Damme was that's one of the most disappointing fights in film history. Van Damme barely got to do anything to Stallone, except a few ticks, but not much else. It needed to take inspiration for like Demolition Man's fight scene between Wesley Snipes and Stallone. You watch that fight, and it might be similar in length, but you see like what they do and the variety and the back and forth and each of their moments to shine, and just much more of a visceral, entertaining fight. Way better than Expendables 2 fight. So, and don't get me started on the I'm itching because I think that now the Statham Scott Adkins fight. Don't get me started on how lame that was. I think Scott Adkins would agree with me on that. Because they would shoot shit like, oh, here's money to put this fucking tennis player in it, and then they just cut all the shit out. But the money and time put into that, they couldn't have as much for the fight scene. Fucking stupid. Shit like that hurt that film and hurt the whole franchise. I don't give a fuck about Expendables 4. 12 Monkeys. I'll just put it in this category. I've never been a huge fan of it, especially the ending. I appreciate what it's trying to do. Brad Pitt's definitely interesting in the film. His performance has this like the musical score at the beginning of the film and certain bits of the story. It's definitely a bit unique, but I wasn't really that satisfied with. The ending is definitely a sore point for me on that. In Country, alright film. Good performance by Bruce Willis. Not sure about the rest of the film because I don't remember much about it, even though I know I reviewed it. Or at least I know I've seen the film. Story of Us, I've never seen. I've seen The Perfect Stranger, but I remember absolutely jack shit about, so I'll just put I'd never seen it. Bonfire of the Vanities, this day still never saw it. Mortal Thoughts, forgettable. Bruce Willis was playing a real some bitch, which some people in the film wanted to take him out of the picture. Demi Moore wasn't too bad. I would say it's more forgettable than lame. I hate Sin City 2. Like, that one, even compared to the other ones, like Sin City 2, I can't think of a single thing I liked in Sin City 2. Not story-wise. I thought they wasted Mickey Rourke's character. They wasted Bruce Willis in it, who's a ghost talking to fucking Jessica Alba or someone. Thought that was just really lame. Robert Rodriguez lost his touch a long fucking time ago. G.I. Joe 2, really lame. Very forgettable film. Another one with the crock of shit in it. Sixth Sense is alright. I didn't love it like other people did. I much prefer Unbreakable, which I would put here in the great category. I love Unbreakable. I love its take on the superhero genre. Not really big on... The Sixth Sense is alright. It has some competent direction. Good performances. Once you see and know the ending, for me, there's not rewatch ability, but for others there are. To each their own. The Siege, pretty good. Especially when you watch in today's age. And martial law after terrorism and how rights are taken away and stripped from us. The Siege is actually worth the watch today. I thought Denzel Washington and Bruce Willis worked very well together. It's from the same director who did Glory. Again, pretty much there's a terrorism act happening in New York. Martial law is created. Is summoned. Bruce Willis leading the military. And more and more freedoms being stripped from citizens. It's actually a movie today that's worth a watch. So, of the films on this list, that's probably the one that would create a pretty interesting affair in today's age. Cop Out, I wanted to like. At one point, I liked, but now it's put it up there where it mainly, especially Kevin Smith's direction is lackluster, and Tracy Morgan's just annoying. I'm glad he's feeling better. And there was a point he was like a terrible car accident he was in, but I just find him really, really annoying. I do not find him funny in the movie. I actually found Bruce Willis funnier in the movie, and I know Kevin Smith hated working with Bruce Willis. The music was fun, but it was pretty much just redoing the music from Fletch. Again, that's a film I wanted to like, and I fooled myself into liking when I first saw it. This is Kevin Smith. I like Kevin Smith. It's Bruce Willis, and just Tracy Morgan. I can't. It's hard for you to rewatch that film. Armageddon. I'll put in the alright category. Nah. Oh, fuck it, I'll put in alright category. I like the film. I like the cast. I like Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck. Hmm. I'm de- I'm debating. Do I want to put that pretty? I don't know. I don't mind the film. I like the music. I like the Aerosmith song. I love the score. Has some pretty fun special effects in it, and big bombastic Michael Bay extravagance. I think it's just that when they get to the asteroid, there's not much they could do. It's just them drilling. And it's like, okay, we have to find a way to make this exciting, but at the same time, it's just people drilling and drilling and drilling. And okay, we put the obstacles in, but they're still fucking drilling, and there's only so much you can make drilling exciting. And the drill broke, and oh, here's Ben Affleck them flying through the space, and then there's another drill, but it's still fucking drilling. It's not. No matter how you try to rework, it's not the most exciting fucking thing. And I always laugh at the Ben Affleck commentary because it's like, so it's better to train drillers to be astronauts and not to train astronauts to be drillers. Like, but then Michael Bay told him to shut the fuck up, and he kept doing the movie. But he made a good point. Like, wait a minute, wouldn't it be easy to train astronauts on how to drill instead of training drillers how to be astronauts? But again, as Michael Bay told him, shut the fuck up. But Ben Affleck had a good point. And Steve Buscemi just annoyed the piss out of me in the third act of that movie when he goes stir crazy. He gets people killed because of his insanity. He just annoyed the piss out of me, but I do like the film. I just don't love it like other people do. But I don't think it's a bad film. Striking Distance, I will put in the pretty good category. I don't love it, but I liked it. Pulp Fiction is definitely a great one. I'll put it there for now. I mean, it's a great Tarantino movie. It has a wonderful cast. There's so many of this. I can't go to one. The Kid. It's been a while since I've seen it. I remember being pretty decent for a kid's film. Him talking with a younger version of himself, and it seemed like it worked well for family. It was a Disney movie. Didn't seem like it was too bad, too shabby. Death Becomes Her. Alright. I mean, some interesting special effects. I just didn't think it was as funny as some people made out to be. Bandits. I might have seen it once, but I don't remember anything about it, so I'll put it there. Hearts War. I vaguely remember it. I vaguely remember being alright, but I can't remember much else. Planet Terror is pretty great. I do like Planet Terror. I mean, Bruce Willis doesn't have a big role in it, but that's a fun one. Part of the grind-out experience I saw in the theater, Planet Terror and Death Proof back-to-back with fake trailers. Sadly, it didn't do well, so they didn't keep doing that, but I do quite like that movie. It's a fun zombie film. One of the last things Robert Rodriguez did that was worth a shit. Alpha Dog. Honestly, I'm going to put it here. I'm not a fan of this movie. I will never watch this film again. I know there are people that like it, defend it to his throne. I'm not a fan of it. Tears of the Sun, I think, is a pretty damn good movie. I know Antoine Fuqua hated working with Bruce Willis because Bruce Willis was a dick. But I think it's a pretty good men on a mission movie in Africa where Bruce Willis and his men are helping these people, and the medical supplies get from one place to the other. I think Antoine Fuqua did a very capable job directing the action in that. Death Wish. That's been a while since I've seen that movie, Death Wish. I don't put it here for now. Only because I remember going like, wow, I didn't think this film sucked. Death Wish 3 is still the best Death Wish film. But this is my second favorite Death Wish movie. I like Eli Roth. Thankfully he didn't write the film. Direction wasn't too bad. Had some decent gore bits. I like Vincent D'Onofrio. He stopped playing a bad guy in it. He plays Bruce Willis' brother, I believe. It's been a while since I said. Bruce Willis, I thought, wasn't too bad. The action scenes were decent, and yeah, I didn't mind it. Did not mind it. Probably the last Bruce Willis film he made that I didn't mind. Looper I didn't mind as well. I mean, it's directed by a dumbass called Rian Johnson, but I don't mind Looper. I can't say I hate it, I'd be lying. It's an interesting concept. Younger version after an older version. Well, actually, the older version, Bruce Willis come back to do some things. Pretty much they're both the same people, but they're hitmen. And it becomes young versus old. Bruce Willis versus Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt did a pretty good job mimicking Bruce Willis' mannerisms. Fire Fire, I don't put in the alright category. I like Josh Duhamel. It was great to see him in the lead there. I also like Rosario Dawson, Bruce Willis. Actually, I remember it being, for what I remember, being pretty good for a direct-to-video film. You know, Bruce Willis has a smaller parts, Josh Duhamel's and Rosario Dawson's film, but I like the cast. I think that has Vincent D'Onofrio in it as well, but he's the villain. Our lead is a firefighter, so he employs some firefighting techniques. I remember wishing it had a bit more action, but you know, it's a direct-to-video film, and I mean, just remember it being a bit better than I thought it would be. Sin City, I'm going to put that in the great category. It's Sin City. That's how you do it right. The stories worked well. The actors were employed. Rutger Hauer, Bruce Willis, Clive Owen, everyone did their jobs well. Mickey Rourke. That was interesting the way it was filmed. That just didn't have the same spark in the sequel. Sin City's a really good one. Glass. Fuck Glass. Who gives a shit about Glass? That's a film that ruined Unbreakable. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's why Die Hard 5 is up here. Because it's not like Glass that just took a shit on the previous film. This took a shit and said, you know what? You know that character you like in Unbreakable? Let's just have a random SWAT team member drown him in a puddle this big. I've taken piss. Left them in a toilet bigger puddles than where he drowned in. And all the build-up with James McAvoy and Split. Just for a random SWAT team, blah, 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 shoot him. That's it. Just, what the fuck was the point? What the fuck? Like, so fucking stupid. Stupid. Hard Kill, that's his direct-to-video phase. And goddamn, they run so much together, I can't tell them apart. Like, Hard Kill, Bruce Willis, I remember, was barely in it. I have a review of that film up. Don't ask me what I said in it, I just know it sucked. Well, my review and the movie sucked. Vice, shitty use of Thomas Jane. Instead of starring some lady I didn't give a fuck about. Bruce Willis is your bad guy. Thomas Jane barely had shit to do. I didn't see First Kill. Some of these I didn't see, to be honest, because he made like 80 of them. Because I think he knew he was sick, so he wanted to make a bunch of them to go in there, repeat his lines, because by this point he couldn't remember his lines. So he had an earpiece and he just repeated what they told him and just make like a dozen of them to collect some easy paychecks and retire. And be like, hey, we get to sell these movies because Bruce Willis is in it. So a lot of these movies, that's what it is. And I just, if they're a paid request, sure, but I just don't have the heart to seek out and watch them. Call Out a Day, I know I've seen Henry Cavill's the lead. Trying to find his father, Bruce Willis. Sigourney Weaver's the villain. I find it really ironic because a lot of times she's using a gun to shoot people. I say that because she had such a bitch fit about Alien 3. I don't want guns in Alien 3 because I don't want to shoot guns. So you're okay with shooting guns in that film to kill people, but shooting guns to kill xenomorphs, that's a bad thing. What the fuck? Explain that to me, please. I haven't seen that one. Some of these I might have seen, I don't remember, but I haven't seen Favorite, Rot the Casbah. God, Megan Fox is in that one. Fuck is that? Assassination, President didn't see it. Precious Cargo's pretty bad. It's kind of the same as those direct-to-video, only it's Mark Paul Gosselaar, Zach from Saved by the Bell as the star. 10 Minutes Gone, again, same type of direct-to-video crap, but this time it's Michael Chiklis from The Shield as the star. And Bruce Willis is in it for like 5 minutes. Out of Death. The setup I remember being lame. You got 50 Cent, so you know it sucks when 50 Cent's in it. Catch 44, I didn't see. Venice 1, I didn't see. The Prince, I didn't see. Kill This Fucking Fly. Apparently I feel sorry for Bruce Willis. I don't blame it. I say fly, it's a moth. Survive the Night, I didn't see. Apex, I didn't see. Deadlock, I didn't see. I can barely see these fucking. Fortress. I gotta watch Fortress or Christopher Lambert. Survive the Game. American Siege. Breach. This one, I think, went to theaters. I didn't see that one. Whatever the fuck this one was called. I think Frank Grillo was in that one. And Thomas Jane, I believe. Like, all these fucking films. Like, American Siege, Breach, Survive the Game, Fortress, Survive the Night, Apex. I don't think this is all of them. I think there's one or two. Yeah, because there's one where he's in, like, a prison, and there's, like, superhuman or supervillains in there. I forget what the fuck that was called. And I think Michael Rooker was in that. Then there's another movie he's in that also has Michael Rooker in it. I don't remember what the fuck that was because I haven't seen that one either. Apex, Survive the Night, Deadlock. I think there's one where he's... I think it takes place in the woods. Yeah, I can't see. I don't fucking remember. Breakfast of Champions. That is easily one of the worst Bruce Willis films. That is a very, very unfunny comedy. Very unfunny. It tried to think it was funny. It's trying very, very, very hard to be quirky. Just didn't work. It just did not work for how quirky it was trying to be. Didn't really work at all. That's just me, though. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And thanks once again, Thain, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.